Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm Wendy You, and this is a look at the Paladin Talents for the Legion Beta. So, let's get started. First up, we'll be looking at the Retribution build. For our level 15 talents, we have Final Verdict. Increases the damage done by Templar's Verdict and Divine Storm by 20%. Next to that, we have Execution Sentence. A hammer slowly falls from the sky, dealing X amount of holy damage after 7.9 seconds. Next, we have Consecration. Consecrates the land beneath you, causing X amount of holy damage over 8.8 seconds to enemies who enter the area. In our level 30 talents, we have the Fires of Justice. Reduces the cooldown of Crusader's Strike by 1 second and gives it a 25% chance to reduce the cost of your next damaging or healing holy power ability by 1. Next we have Zeal. Replaces Crusader's Strike. Strikes the target for X amount of physical damage, maximum of 2 charges. Grants Zeal, causing Zeal attacks to chain to an additional nearby target per stack, maximum 3 stacks. Each jump deals 40% less damage. Next to that, we have Greater Judgment. Your Judgment cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds and jumps to 3 additional nearby enemies. For our level 45 talents, we have Fist of Justice. Your dealing abilities that spend holy power reduce the remaining cooldown on Hammer of Justice by 8 seconds. Next to that, we have Repentance. Forces an enemy target to meditate, incapacitating the target and dealing up to a maximum of 25% of the target's health in damage over 1 minute. Usable against demons, dragonkin, giants, humanoids, and undead. Next to that, we have Blinding Light. Emits dazzling lights in all directions, blinding enemies within 10 yards, dealing X amount of damage and causing them to wander disoriented for 6 seconds. Non-holy damage will break the disorienting effect. For our level 60 talents, we have Virtue's Blade. Blade of Justice critical strikes now deal 3 times normal damage. Next to that, we have Blade of Wrath. Replaces Blade of Justice. Strike an enemy within Blade of Wrath, dealing X amount of holy damage. Third, we have Divine Hammer. Replaces Blade of Justice. Divine Hammers spin around you, damaging enemies within 8 yards for X amount of holy damage, instantly and every 2 seconds for 7.9 seconds. For our 75 talents, we have Justicar's Vengeance. A weapon strike that deals X amount of holy damage and restores health equal to the damage done. Deals 100% additional damage and healing when used against a stunned target. Next to that, we have Eye for an Eye. Reduces physical damage you take by 35% and instantly counterattacks any enemy that strikes you in melee combat for X amount of physical damage, lasts for 10 seconds. After that, we have a Word of Glory. Heal yourself and up to 5 friendly targets within 15 yards for X amount of maximum of 2 charges. For our level 90 talents, we have Divine Intervention. Reduces your Divine Shield cooldown by 50%. In addition, any attack which would kill you instead reduces you to 20% of your maximum health and triggers Divine Shield. Cannot occur while Divine Shield is on cooldown or Forbearance is active. Next, we have Divine Steed. Summons your holy mount to ride for 3 seconds, increasing movement speed by 100%, usable while indoors or in combat. After that, we have Seal of Light. Draws upon your holy energy to increase your movement speed by 20% for 20 seconds per holy power spent. For our level 100 talents, we have Divine Purpose. Your holy power consuming abilities have a 20% chance to make your next holy power consuming ability free. Next to that, we have Sanctified Wrath. Replaces Avenging Wrath. Increases your damage and haste by 5% for 20 seconds. Each holy power spent during Sanctified Wrath increases damage and haste by an additional 5%, with a maximum of 15 stacks. And thirdly, we have Equality. Deals holy damage up to 4 enemies within 10 yards, equal to 150% of your missing health. deals 35% of missing health against enemy players. Next, we're going to be looking at the protection talents. For our level 15 talents, we have First Avenger. Increases damage of Avenger's shield by 50% and increases the chance for its remaining cooldown to be reset by abilities and talents by 50%. But it now only hits one target. Next, we have Hand of the Protector. Replaces Light of the Protector. Calls down the light to heal a friendly target for 25% of the target's missing health. Next to that, we have Consecrated Hammer. Hammer of the Righteous has no cooldown and always gains the damage bonus of Consecration. For our level 30 talents, we have Holy Shield. Increases your block chance by 10%, allows you to block spells, and your successful blocks deal X amount of holy damage to your attacker. Next to that, we have Knight Templar. Reduces the cooldown of Divine Steed by 50% and reduces all damage taken while mounted on your Divine Steed by 20%. Next, we have Last Defender. Each enemy within 8 yards reduces the damage that you take by 3%. This effect has diminishing returns. For our level 45 talents, these are the same as the other specializations. For our level 60 talents, we have Blessing of Spell Warding. Replaces Blessing of Protection. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, protecting them from all magical attacks for 10 seconds. Cannot be used on a target with Forbearance. Causes Forbearance for 30 seconds. Next, we have Blessing of Salvation. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, temporarily removing all threat from the target and causing all additional threat generated to be transferred to you. Third, we have Retribution Aura. You deal X amount of holy damage to any enemy whose melee attack strikes non-tank party or raid members within 60 yards. For our level 75 talents, we have Bastion of Light. Immediately grants 3 charges of Shield of the Righteous. Next, we have Crusader's Judgment. Judgment can also trigger Grand Crusader. Third, we have Blessed Hammer. Replaces Hammer of the Righteous. Throw a Blessed Hammer that spirals outward, dealing X amount of holy damage to enemies that it hits, and causes them to deal 15% less damage to you on their next auto attacks. For our level 90 talents, we have Aegis of Light. Channels an Aegis of Light that protects you and all allies standing within 10 yards behind you for 6 seconds, reducing all damage taken by 20%. Next, we have Judgment of Light. Judgment now applies Judgment of Light to the target, causing the next 40 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for X amount. This effect can only occur once per second on each target. After that, we have Consecrated Ground. Up to 6 allies standing within your consecration receive X amount of healing every 1 second. And enemies within your consecration have 50% reduced movement speed. For our level 100 talents, we have Righteous Protector. Shield of the Righteous reduces the remaining cooldown on Light of the Protector by 3 seconds. After that, we have Sephirim. The light temporarily magnifies your power, increasing your haste, critical strike, mastery, and versatility by 750. Consumes up to 2 charges of Shield of the Righteous and lasts 8 seconds per charge. Finally, we have Final Stand. Reduces the cooldown of Divine Shield by 50%, and when you use Divine Shield, you also taunt all targets within 15 yards for 8 seconds. And now we'll be looking at the talents for Holy. For our level 15 talents, we have Bestow Faith. Infuses a friendly target with faith for 5 seconds, healing them for X amount at the end. Next, we have Light's Hammer. Hurls a light-infused hammer into the ground where it blasts a 8-yard radius every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. Each blast deals X amount of holy damage to enemies and heals up to 6 allies for X amount. Third, we have Crusader's Might. Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock and Light of Dawn by 1.5 seconds. For our level 30 talent, we have Divine Steed, which is the same for the other specializations. Next to that, we have Unbreakable Spirit. Reduces the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Divine Protection, and Lay on Hands by 30%. After that, we have Rule of Law. Increases the range of your heals and the reach of your mastery, Lightbringer, by 50% for 10 seconds. For our level 45 talents, these are the same as the other specializations. For our level 60 talent, we have Devotion Aura. Allies within 10 yards take 20% reduced damage, split over the number of allies in the aura. While Aura Mastery is active, all affected allies gain the full damage reduction. Next to that, we have Aura a Sacrifice. While you are above 65% health, 10% of all damage taken by allies within 10 yards is redirected to you. While Aura Mastery is active, 10% of all effective healing you deal is replicated to all allies in the aura. Third, we have Aura of Mercy. Restores X amount of health to 3 injured allies within 10 yards every 1 second. While Aura Mastery is active, heals all allies in the aura instead of 3. For our level 75 talents, we have Divine Purpose. Light of Dawn and Holy Shock have a 15% chance to not start their cooldown and make their next cast free. After that, we have Holy Avenger. Increases your haste by 30% and your Holy Shock healing by 30% for 20 seconds. And after that, we have Holy Prism. A beam of light turns the target into a holy prism. An enemy target takes X amount of holy damage and radiates X amount of healing to 5 nearby allies within 15 yards. A friendly target is healed for X amount and radius X amount holy damage to 5 nearby enemies within 15 yards. For our level 90 talents, we have Fervent Martyr. Casting Holy Light or Flash of Light on your Beacon of Light reduces the cost of your next Light of the Martyr by 35%, stacking. Next, we have Sanctified Wrath. Avenging Wrath lasts 50% longer and also reduces Holy Shock's cooldown by 50% for its duration. And our third talent, Judgment of Light, works the same as the other specs. And for our level 100 talents, we have Beacon of Faith. Mark a second target as a beacon, mimicking the effects of Beacon of Light. Your heals will now heal both of your beacons, but at 20% reduced effectiveness. Next, we have Beacon of the Lightbringer. Mastery. Lightbringer now increases your healing based on the target's proximity to either you or your Beacon of Light, whichever is closer. The healing and range of Light of Dawn are increased by 30%. And finally, we have Beacon of Virtue. Replaces Beacon of Light. Apply a Beacon of Light on your target and 4 injured allies within 30 yards for 8 seconds. Your healing will heal all of them for 40% of the amount healed. Thank you for watching this look at the Paladin Talents, which was kind of interesting because I've noticed that one of the talents that the Protection Paladin had or one of the abilities that the Protection Paladin had was a talent for the other 2 specializations. And a lot of the specializations were mixed in, like a lot of the talents had were at different levels rather than one certain level. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked, give it a like. If you disliked, give it a dislike, whatever. And if you want to see more videos that I've done, click the subscribe button. And if you want to see any of the other talents, please click any of the videos you see before you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Later!